The Big Show with Glenn and Angel on Kiss 92.
Good morning. Sometimes getting out of bed in the morning is a lot to deal with all at once.
Good morning. Oh, let me try that again. Good morning and welcome to Happy at Work Thursday. We have Adrian Choo in the studio, and he is, of course, from Career Agility International. Good morning, Adrian.
Good morning. Is my mic working?
Good morning. Yes.
Good morning, everybody. Good. Hope everyone's staying dry.
Yeah, it is very, very wet out there, and it's cold as well.
It's very cold. I don't know how people can just exit a house without a jacket. It's not possible.
But it's cold for us because, I mean, we're used to like 33, 34, you know, and then when it gets too hot, we complain. And then when it gets too cold, we complain. Gets too wet, we complain.
You know
Not
what's
enough rain,
optimal?
we complain.
I think the optimal temperature for us right here in Singapore is 27, 28.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think so too.
You've chosen that, have you?
What aircon setting do you have at home?
18.
Oh, when you sleep?
Yes, but
Really?
this is like because my husband needs to be a polar bear in a freezer situation.
What
And
is-
then
yeah.
2 blankets.
What is it about men and air conditionings? Like, what temperature do you sleep at?
I turn it on to 25.
Okay.
And only for the first 1 hour. After that, I just turn it off. And I'm good
Oh,
enough.
wow. You're
Yeah.
one of those sustainable,
Yeah.
conserve energy
I find
kind of
it's
guys.
rather ironic. I agree with you. You know, turn the aircon all the way low and then cover yourself up with blankets. My son does it and I get upset. I was like, have you seen the power bill this month?
Yeah. But I like being covered in
Yeah,
a
it's nice
blanket.
and
It's called
Cozy.
cozy. Yeah,
It's nice and
see?
cozy.
In a hotel, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but not when I'm paying the power
When
bill.
it's on someone else's bill, right? Okay, we're not talking about bills today, but we are talking about work today. We're talking about careers, actually, and portfolio careers. So what exactly are they, Adrian?
Well, portfolio careers are about it's a lot of people sometimes what they do is they're sick and tired of the corporate world. And they're thinking, what are the other options out there besides a 9-to-5 job with one company, drawing one paycheck? And what's happening now, we are seeing an increasing phenomenon that is that this thing called portfolio careers, where individuals, instead of having one job with one company, drawing one salary, they are having multiple jobs with multiple companies, drawing multiple salaries at different times of the year or on certain contracts. So today I wanted to share with our listeners out there what exactly is a portfolio career, why it's an interesting option for many, and how can you make it happen.
Is that the same as moonlighting?
And that's very great. That's a great question. Moonlighting is more about if you have a day job already and you do something else at night, in addition to that, with or without your company's knowledge.
Are you not allowed to do that?
It's not. Okay, if there's no conflict of interest,
Yeah.
sometimes it's okay and it depends. But a lot of times there is an inherent and implicit conflict of interest. Like for instance, if I'm working in a bank in the day, right? Then at night I am going out helping
Consulting for someone
with
else.
or on weekends consulting with another finance institution or something like that. Then if there's a conflict of interest, it can get messy. Or as I said before, there was this case where there was a lawyer in a law firm, and on weekends he was helping his wife with the satay shop.
That's not conflict of interest.
Yeah, but for optics, one of the senior partners saw him at the neighborhood Pasar Malam
Yeah.
selling satay, and he said that's not right for the company image. That one of our more senior lawyers it's on weekends, and he said no, but that's my business. No, it's
Yeah, I think that's quite arrogant. I mean, this guy was just helping his wife do something not on the company's time either.
yeah, correct. But they said it's bad, and they
Bad
said
optics.
it's moonlighting, you know. But they said I'm not even being paid. I'm just helping my wife out.
Yeah.
So once again, if you're thinking of that, that's not what we're talking about today. We're not talking about moonlighting.
Okay.
We're talking about actually having a portfolio career where
Okay.
you have multiple jobs with different companies, and in a way, some people just call it gigging.
That's me.
Okay, yeah, that's me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got multiple jobs. Okay, let's talk a little bit more on The Big Show TV. If you want to join us, just head to Facebook and YouTube and key in Kiss 92 FM. Right now, here is Bad Bunny. He's looking really good in a recent ad. I can't remember which one it was. Okay, Nuvayol. Here he is on Kiss 92. Close enough. Nueva York.
What's that?
Nueva York?
That's his name, or?
No, Bad Bunny
Bad
is his
Bunny
name.
is his name.
Oh, okay, sorry.
He was
Continue.
looking really good in an ad. I can't remember which one it was. He's like showing his bum and his pants and okay. Anyway, carrying on.
So we know her YouTube diet. What it is.
Yes.
Okay, carrying on. Portfolio careers.
Yeah. So the big question is, what exactly is a portfolio career? And the definition of a portfolio career is when you are very often not in a corporate job. Okay, you're on your own and you're doing separate projects for different companies. For different.
So Calvin Klein. I just got told. Was the ad that Bad Bunny was in. Sorry.
Hey.
I'm still distracted, clearly. All right, Adrian, carry
know
on.
where her mind is all the
Yeah.
time. So.
All right. So yeah, all about this portfolio careers, right? Is it good for everybody to do it, or it's like increasing with the younger generation?
So we are seeing two trends. One is the older generation, those in their 40s and 50s. When they have decided to slow down, or maybe even step up, but in a different form. When the main driver is about two things. One is a lot of times they don't want to work for companies anymore.
Because they've
Corporates.
gotten tired.
Tired of it. Or maybe they've been retrenched and they say that, I do not like this uncertainty of having to work, putting my fate
In
the
one.
hands of
One employer.
Yeah.
So it's about freedom as well, isn't it? Kind
Freedom,
of.
yep. Freedom. It's about freedom. It's about work-life balance sometimes because you get pick and choose your projects as well. But it's not as easy as it sounds because there are certain challenges. For instance, it's not something you can do overnight. But the decision to go into a portfolio career should not be an overnight decision. It should be something where you have to plan it out.
Oh, so you know the steps to take and
correct,
how to
because-
achieve certain things.
How to develop your brand, how to create that value proposition, and how to look for customers. So we see a chunk of senior folks doing it, but we see an increasing chunk of junior Gen Zers doing it as well. Because they're fresh out of university and they said, okay, fine, maybe I'll do these projects because I haven't quite found my way around yet. And maybe I can't find a job.
So are they doing it like Yumiko says she's got a portfolio career because she's here on Kiss 92, and then
Yeah.
you've also got your hosting, and then you've also got your nail
Nail
salon.
shop.
But is there always one sort of baseline career that ties everything together? That's like a foundation. Like for me, the foundation is here.
Yeah.
This is my foundation career, and then everything else is secondary, if I could say that.
It could be. It could be.
Okay, or is everything kind of equal?
It depends also because sometimes you pick up a project that's like 2 months and then you pick up another project that's 3 months, and then sometimes there are overlaps. Sometimes you go quiet for 1 or 2 months. So it's the money can be lumpy. I mean, it can be a lot at one go. Suddenly it's 3 months quiet.
Gigging.
Yeah, that's gigging, right? That's,
Yeah.
welcome to the world of
That's gigging,
gigging.
yeah.
Right?
It's true.
Yeah.
So it's a career strategy. It's a lifestyle choice sometimes, and that's why it takes into you have to take a lot of things into consideration. So if you have a core anchor job, then it's fine, like you guys, right?
Oh, okay.
So that's
I would
nice.
think it's a
That's
little bit
good because
more-
you got paychecks.
Yes,
coming
we've
in,
got
you know?
paychecks, but
Yeah.
also people who are starting out this entire portfolio careers, it could be very stressful, right? Because you don't know when the next big
Paycheck
sum
is
is
coming
coming
from.
in.
Yeah.
And some people like it, some people don't.
Oh, what? Who could like that though? Like, that's the kind of. I mean, to me, it's like living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
Because you don't know when the next one is coming in.
So I know this guy
Yeah.
who was working close to 22 years in a company, got retrenched, got a huge payout, and he is in his 50s. So his house is kind of settled, mortgage kind of done, kids are almost out of the house. So going into a gig type situation works for
It's
him.
good. Yeah, it works
because
for
it
him.
doesn't. But you're right. If you're starting out in your career, then that gets a bit tricky in terms of cash flows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or if you're in the middle of your career, that's why we are seeing both ends of the spectrum. But the middle chunk, the Gen Yers, might be a bit more difficult for them to.
Yeah, because it's very risky, right? There
Yeah.
are so many different types of obstacles. Like, what kind of obstacles do you think is like the top 3 or top 5 for people who venture into this?
Well, I think the biggest mistake people do is they don't think enough about it. They just say, hey, that sounds fun. Let's give it a try. I'm going to quit my job and then I'm going to be a consultant.
Yeah.
And they don't have enough thought about it. They think they overestimate the market size they're in. And they go out and they try. And sometimes they don't have the financial resources to last 1 year, because the first year is always tricky. Bumpy. Because you're going to try and do your business development. You're going out there. People don't trust you with the full projects yet. So sometimes it happens that way. And that's why one of the biggest obstacles is people don't do enough planning. And that's one of the reasons why on the 19th of April, we are running the Mid-Career Magic Workshop for all our Kiss 92 listeners out there. It's going to be held at SPH Auditorium. And we are inviting everyone who's listening in now to come on. It's a full day event. Yen and I will be there. We'll be having guests as well, panelists who are who will be there sharing their experiences with portfolio careering with you as well.
So who is this for, this seminar?
We have Frank. Goodness,
Who's Frank?
Handsome Frank.
Friend of George.
So no, we have a group of 4. The list is on the website itself. Okay, www.careeragility.org/kiss92fm. My brain is not braining today. It's too rainy.
Because it's cold.
It's wet.
Yeah, it's monsoon season.
Okay, so we have Frank Koo, who used to be the LinkedIn MD for LinkedIn Singapore.
Nice.
Yeah.
We have Julia Lee, who used to be the CHRO with one of the organizations in Singapore.
Okay.
She's also doing what's called a fractional HR work. And we have Brian Liu, who's also a young Gen Y person who's gone into portfolio careering, coaching and everything. And we have one of my best friends, his name is Tamil Chalvan. He used to be the head for Novartis, one of the top drug companies in Singapore, in sales. And he's pivoted into real estate sales.
Okay.
And
But still sales though.
yeah, sales. Correct.
Sales,
So he
okay.
pivoted into sales,
Yeah, okay.
as well as nature photography, which is his.
Wow.
He calls it his day job.
And he's one of your best friends.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So
Okay.
he does nature photography in the morning. Afternoon, he closes deals after deals. I see him closing shop houses, bungalows, and everything, because he's a sales guy.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
one of the best success stories I've seen of someone pivoting after 50, and probably making more money than he did before.
So he pivoted to a different vertical basically, because it was still sales,
Yes.
Yeah.
but selling something else.
Yeah. So he used to say he used to be pushing drugs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So now he's just pushing and
Land, houses.
And the cool thing is, when you're pushing drugs, sounds like
Careful
sounds
now.
like Breaking
Yeah.
Bad, right?
Yeah.
When you're who's he selling to? He's selling to the surgeons.
So he's made the contacts.
Because
Yes.
it's B2B,
Database.
right?
Yeah. And these are the guys who
Have money.
So when you pivot into something else where the
Yeah.
customer base is already there and they love you,
It's a
So
big
the-
ticket item as
so
well.
he's going to be sharing the experiences on how you can pivot into a sales type, and sales can be learned, and it's something that you could possibly try pivoting. So we're going to talk about that during the workshop itself.
Okay, when is it again?
It's on the 19th of April. You can go to careeragility.org/kiss92fm and get more details. Early bird tickets are still on.
Okay, we'll talk about it a little bit more on
Yeah.
air later. Yeah, no, carry on.
No, so I think that your friend is so smart because now he has his contacts, right, for networking.
Yeah.
So he sells the houses, he gets paid to fund
His
his.
photography.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
So because cameras and lenses are really expensive. So once you have that capital to invest, right,
Yeah.
you buy all the equipment you need and then you start taking photos and then you get paid for the photos as well.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, so
yes.
that's very smart. It's a
And-
lot of planning.
Yeah, and that's everyone's dream, right? To be able to have something that pays for your
Yeah.
passion
Or
Yes.
hobby.
or hobby. Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Going for traffic.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the KPE towards the TPE before the Tampines Road exit, avoid lane 3 of vehicles broken down. Also on Orchard Road, this is heading towards Bras Basah right after Buyong Road. Avoid the left lane of vehicles broken down. Also on the ECP towards the city after the MCEAYE exit, another broken down vehicle. And finally on Thompson Road, yet another vehicle's having trouble after Balestier Road. This is in the direction of Newton. Avoid the right lane. Lots of obstacles all over the place as well. I'm sure there's situations that I don't have here. So if you have any news for us, you can WhatsApp me 8855 Okay, we are with Adrian Choo because it is Happy at Work Thursday. It's Happy at Wet Work Thursday. We're talking about mid-career magic, how you can design your next 5 moves. And Adrian was just telling us about this amazing one-day event that's happening on the 19th of April here at the SPH Auditorium. So what exactly is mid-career magic all about, Adrian?
It's about those of us who are in our 40s or even in our late 30s who are wondering, what do I do when I'm in my late 40s or 50s? And a lot of mid-career folks right now are facing a career crossroad situation where it's like, what do I do next? I'm not so sure what I want to do, but I know what I don't want to do. What are the strategies involved in pivoting? What's the strategy involved in moving to another industry? Or should I take up a career conversion program? Or should I just stay where I am? So there are strategies that are involved when you're in your 30s and 40s that could affect your career longevity. So we're organizing a full-day event over here at SPH Auditorium on the 19th of April. And for individuals who are questioning what's next, it's going to be really useful. We're going to provide frameworks. We're going to provide Caroline, our AI software, to help you with your career decisions as well. And we are having a panel of experts who have gone through that journey of the mid-career crossroads and who have successfully pivoted or had portfolio careers to share their adventures and advice with us.
Okay, now the event will go on from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. and I think it includes lunch and snacks and tea breaks and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And currently tickets are at 50% off.
Yes, that's
which
right.
is fantastic.
Wow,
Yeah.
early bird.
Early bird tickets. And Adrian was talking about the panelists. So there's Frank Koo, Tamil Shelvin, Julie Lee, as well as Brian Liu. If you want to find out more, just go to careeragility.org/kiss92fm and that's where you can get your tickets. Okay, we're heading back to Facebook and YouTube for The Big Show TV. It is now 8:24.
Kiss 92 Time Check brought to you by...
We were going to talk about WSG. You want to do that on air later?
Yeah, that's right, the final bit.
Well, the final bit, we'll do that. Okay.
So my question for you, Angel, when did you start? Did you start off your career on a portfolio basis as well? Kind of.
Yeah, I want to say I've always been a portfolio career kind of person because I've always dabbled in a few things, but a few things that are all related to the same thing. It's all public speaking. It's all being in front of the camera, you know, whether it was modeling or hosting or TV or radio. It's always been like in the public eye kind of thing. So I don't know if you want to... If you consider that like one career or like
it's
many
portfolio
careers.
because it's you're getting separate paychecks.
Yeah.
But for as long as you're getting separate paychecks.
Oh, right. Okay.
For different projects.
From different
gigs,
clients.
Different clients. Yeah.
Okay. Then yes, always been portfolio career
Yeah.
kind of person.
How has it been? I mean, you've been doing it without knowing it as well, right?
Yeah.
No name for it.
I think it at times it's scary because and I think I can speak for every gig worker out there because you don't know when your next paycheck's coming in.
Yeah.
When it rains, it pours. You know what I mean?
right.
But when it dries up, it really dries up.
That's right.
So if I could give any piece of opinion based on the experience that I've had, I would say get something that is stable. Like your friend, you know, has his sales, although that's also not stable.
Yeah,
but he's at a
yeah.
stable time in his life.
Yes, correct.
But if you're at the start of your life, get a daily paycheck job. You know, whether it's being a waitress or being a call center person or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
And then get that to sort of fund the rest of your lifestyle if possible. Or you can do other things to supplement it. Like say work on the weekend or whatever it is. But definitely get a regular paycheck. That's
a car job.
A job, and it doesn't even have to pay you the salary that you think you're gonna get, like $10,000.
Yeah.
As long as it's regular, you then know that you're getting X amount of dollars at the end of the month, and that way you can plan your life.
Yeah, because everybody has still got bills to pay.
Yeah. So it could be your phone bill. Sorry, my brain's also quite wet this morning. Your phone bill, your transport bill, your food bill, all those add up. So as long as that can cover your lifestyle, then everything else is gravy on top.
That's true.
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I think
how's portfolioing coming for you?
I started hosting
Okay.
when I was 16 or 17. So it was mainly
Wow.
because so at that time at that time there were really not many part-time job offers where you didn't have to stay past like midnight, and I still at school. I had projects to do, so somebody came up to me and said, hey, do you want to try doing hosting for our road show? And that was
road shows.
So that was how I started, right? And then I used to commit like 4-5 hours every weekend. And that was like my monthly expenses because I needed money to pay for school. I needed money to travel, like from point A to point B in Singapore, not overseas. But so that was how it started. And I thought that, eventually I was going to go on and grab myself a full-time job in the scene, but I didn't. So I went on and I became an animal keeper. I became an aquarist at Resorts World Sentosa Aquarium.
Oh, wow.
The Sea Aquarium, but all this happened while I was still hosting outside. And this was like with clearance from the companies I worked for.
So you were kind of like gigging on the side so the main jobs was the aquarium and the Sea World and all that. Those were the main ones. Yeah.
So then, of course, when they came to me and said, hey, we'd like to offer you a job, I said, sure, but you have to know that I still do hosting outside.
Yeah.
And then after 6 years, I decided, okay, you know what? I think I don't want to do an 8 to 5 job. And just went on full on hosting. Yeah, and then in between radio happened and producing happened.
So nice.
And then I suddenly decided, during pandemic, nothing to do, so I opened a nail shop.
Yours was a COVID thing, was it?
Yeah.
Okay. But how did you do nails during COVID though? I mean, how did that work?
So at that time, I think the very first month, they said no going out and only essential services were open, right? So we were not considered.
No, of course not.
Yeah, so we just waited 2 months and then we opened. So the moment the doors were up, we were like, okay, so we could open now.
Oh, so not too long, not like 3 years that y'all had to shut.
It's not too bad.
Okay,
so I opened 2020 sometime in April or May. Then we opened our doors and then everybody came. But we still maintained the hygiene part of it. So we had to clean the screens and stuff. So now it's a little bit more relaxed. But I still have my nail shop.
Oh, that's
I
nice.
still do radio.
Yeah.
I still do producing. I still do hosting.
That's a wonderful portfolio career.
So with this
about
portfolio, I can go and get another job.
Why not? Why not?
No, this is in the hopes that boss not tuning in.
But once again, you brought up a good point. You should, if you're doing, once again, there's a difference between moonlighting and doing a portfolio career. So, but I'm going to go into the gray area now. That if you're thinking about going into a portfolio career full time, you should do a bit of moonlighting on the side to see whether or not to incubate that idea. Because it's highly risky if you suddenly say, I'm going to quit my job today
and just go
and
all
just
out.
go and go all out. See, rather than you try to do a little bit of gigging on the side to see whether the idea works.
But not conflict of interest gigging.
Yeah. I
Right?
mean, you don't like work for your competitor. If you have an idea, you want to try it out. If you want to try hosting on weekends, maybe you don't get paid for it first. You just try to see whether you like it. So for myself, I've always wanted to do. I was in headhunting and I always wanted to do career coaching. So I did a lot of. I did a lot of career coaching in my headhunting business itself.
Yeah,
right?
of course.
Yeah, but I wanted to try what it was like to be as a full-time, as a paid professional
consultant.
Career coach, consultant, career consultant. So I did it on the side. I told my bosses, I was going to try it out. He said, okay. And after a while, I learned my mistakes. I got better at it. And then when the time came for me to do an exit from the corporate world, I had figured out the ropes. And it was much easier. So incubating it on the side is a good idea for those who are seriously considering.
Okay, we're going to go back on air. And then if you'd like to talk about WSG, you want to talk about that now? Adrian?
Are we going on? Yeah.
We're going back on air, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Wet and slippery roads out there. So do be very, very cautious. On the KPE towards the TPE, a vehicle's broken down before Tampines Road exit. Avoid lane 3. Also on the ECP towards the city after the MCE AYE exit, another vehicle's broken down. Finally, on Thompson Road, heading towards Newton, another vehicle has broken down after Balestier Road. Avoid the right lane. If you spot anything else, it's 8855 It is Happy at Work Thursday with Adrian Choo of Career Agility International. And if you want to get in touch with any of the consultants at Career Agility, their email is info@careeragility.org. Adrian Choo, over to you.
Yeah, I was talking about portfolio careers, and one of the key things which you really need to have to succeed in that is to be very career agile.
Okay.
And a lot of times individuals, we have a certain degree of career agility, but last month, sometime back, I had a discussion, and it was a video interview with Singtel,
Okay.
our national telecom provider, together with the Business Times and WSG. And I had a conversation with Eileen Tan. Eileen Tan's a group people officer and sustainability officer.
Okay.
She's basically like the CHRO. And we were talking, and it was... The whole video is actually up on the website. If you can have a look at it, it's on YouTube as well. We were talking about how Singtel, they have over 20,000 individuals on their staff, the payroll. But because Singtel is in an environment that is fast changing, because they're talking about telcos, telecom technologies, so the people have to pivot very quickly. So we had a very good discussion about how they run their career conversion programs, how they train up individuals to be multi-skilled. And it's a very skills-based organization, which they focus on individuals, how to upskill them, how to cross-skill them, how to be better. And it's really remarkable how they have successfully pulled it off on a corporate level. So the video is up online. You can check it out. I believe if it's not already posted on our Kiss 92 FM page, it will be shortly.
Very, very soon, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
It was a
interesting.
real eye-opener because you rarely see organizations at that scale and size deliver on career, making the people more career agile.
Yeah, and that's why I love the name of your company, because we all need to be agile with our careers.
We do, because
You know?
times are always changing, right?
Yeah.
And we actually do change our wants and needs every 5 years. We grow and grow and grow.
Is
and
that
then-
the statistic every 5
yeah,
years?
about 5 to 7
Okay.
years.
Yeah.
Your wants and needs do change. And then maybe at some point you feel like, you know what? It's so mundane. I've been doing this job for 25 years. I need a change.
Yeah.
And it's a great point to bring up because a lot of people out there are operating on a 5-year-old career strategy that's not suited for them now. Like what you said, things have changed, but they're still thinking, okay, I must still work very hard to earn as much money as I can, and not to disappoint the people around. But suddenly they are 55.
Yeah.
And they say, why am I,
Still doing
who am
the
I
same
trying to impress? Why am I burning myself out? So the strategy needs to change with the different season in life.
Okay. Let's continue to talk about career portfolios. And I want to bring up something that you brought up, Adrian, about how when you wanted to test out consulting, you spoke to your boss about it at your headhunting firm. And they supported that. So let's speak a little bit more about that on The Big Show TV. Join us on YouTube and Facebook at Kiss 92 FM.
This is brand new. Here's a tune that's
Okay, so you were saying, you spoke to your boss and you wanted to do a bit of consulting just to see how it was. And then eventually you opened up your own consulting firm, career coaching firm, right?
Yes.
Is this what people should do at the jobs that they have now? If they want to sort of dabble in this and that, say Yumiko's here and she has not done hosting before, but she goes to the boss and she says, boss, I'd like to try out hosting. Is it okay if I do this on the weekend? It's not going to interfere with any of my work here at Kiss 92, but do you mind if I do that? Is that the way we should approach it?
I think you should. But it also depends on whether the boss is going to be hostile or not receptive to it. If you know the boss is hostile to it, and I'm being a bit cheeky here, I don't think you should be held hostage by your nasty boss if they just want to hoard you and keep you.
Oh, yes.
So you should experiment and try something different on the side. Do not be afraid to be a naughty boy or girl.
And just be honest, right?
Yeah, just do it.
But is that risking your job though? I mean, not
but
everyone
as
can
long
risk
as-
it.
As long as you're not moonlighting. But then again, the definition of moonlighting can be quite severe. For instance, civil servants, public.
Oh, yeah.
cannot,
This
right?
one cannot.
One guy even went to one. I mean, I can't remember who it was. This individual 3 years back. It wasn't even driving for Grab. It was a Grab hitch.
Okay.
Which Grab hitch means I'm going from A to B on my way home.
With other people.
With other people,
Yeah.
they hitch a ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was found out. And
What do you mean he was found out? What? Taking a ride with other
No,
people?
he was driving his
Oh,
car
he was
home,
driving,
and he was
yeah.
collecting money on it.
Oh, he was picking people up.
Yeah, he's picking people up.
Right.
And-
You're not
and-
allowed to do that?
Apparently not. And he said, but it's not my full time. I'm just picking people up to defray my petrol
Yeah.
costs on the way
Yeah, but it's
home."
not allowed.
But it's not
Yeah,
allowed.
because
As a civil servant, you mean?
Yes, I
Right.
know this because my husband is also a civil
Yeah.
servant. And back then, when GrabHitch first started, right, I think he also did mention, he was like, wow, then like that very good, right? Because at that time we had a car.
Yeah.
And he said, maybe I should try out this
And
GrabHitch.
then you offset your
Yeah, and
your
I
bills.
said, no. I told him, no, cannot. He's like, what do you mean cannot? I was like, no, I really don't think you should.
Yeah.
So he went back to work, and a couple of him and his colleagues were chatting about it. They're like, hey, actually, this one's really not bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
They found out.
they found out all over the papers.
So the trick is whether or not you get found out, because I know a lot of teachers are giving tuition
On the side,
On the
right?
side, right?
Yeah.
That's not
Private
allowed
tuition.
either?
technically.
If
no.
you are MOE registered educator, you are
At a school.
Yeah, at a school, by right, you're not allowed to give tuition on the sides. Yeah, or even be a part timer with a tuition center.
This is
tuition
shocking
center,
to me
yeah.
because I feel like the cost of living is going up, and people need to hustle.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Like, I feel if you're not murdering anyone, you're not stealing from anyone.
Not setting people's houses on fire.
Yeah, exactly. There's no crime involved in that sense. Why can't you just be given the right to earn money? Because people have bills to pay.
So once again, the whole issue of conflict of interest, because I actually know a school teacher who
How is
was,
being a civil servant conflict of interest being a Grab hitch driver?
exactly
That
right.
to me that's not
Yeah,
that
yeah.
doesn't make sense.
But it's a blanket ban on getting secondary income.
at all, even if you sell cakes from home,
Yeah, cannot.
also cannot.
Yeah.
Wow.
Basically, you cannot, as long as you're a civil servant,
Earn
you cannot
money from
own,
anywhere else.
No, you cannot own a business. And you shouldn't be earning a secondary income.
So in a situation where if you are invited as an expert panelist to go on a conference with another country to speak at some industry event, and you get paid a stipend, 2,000 for the weekend.
Cannot
Or
also.
you can't. You have to declare.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have to declare.
Okay.
So it's not just for civil servants, but even for private sector. If I'm getting a stipend, I should declare it just for safety, for to be transparent.
Yeah.
Yeah, for full disclosure.
Okay, so it can use, but only for something like that because it's kind of related because you're speaking, representing who you are.
Yeah, may
Right,
not even
like
be
a
representing
seminar.
may not even be representing the company.
Oh, right. Okay.
If you're representing the company, you shouldn't be paid, or they should pay the company. But if you're going as a professional speaker,
Individual.
for some women's rights or
Yeah.
something that's nothing related
And
to
you're
the
getting
company.
paid.
And you're getting paid, you should declare it as well. But that's also a great way to try out public speaking, perhaps as or being a
Invited
being seen,
guest.
being seen as a professional in industry, which could help you with your portfolio career if you want to go into consulting down the road. Then that's a possible way of, as I said, incubating that idea.
Okay, so if you're not a civil servant,
Okay.
let's go to private sector, whatever job it may be. What are the boundaries on that?
Well, I think
Very great.
conflict of interest is the biggest thing.
Yeah.
I mean, if you go do something that's really
Related to...
so I know this individual who is in banking, HR, very senior individual. She kind of semi-retired, but and she wanted to do gigs as in I wanted to do some HR projects for different companies,
Oh, right. Okay.
which is fine, right? But the company she was with previously said, I'll still put you on a retainer. You can come in once a week to advise. So technically, she's still on payroll. And therefore, she's handcuffed. They told her, you can work for any other client, but as long as it's not a bank.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
So it can be like a stationery shop or
Yeah, yeah.
something else, just not in the same
the
industry.
same industry.
She's helping us with all our other projects, but she just cannot touch the banking projects.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So, which is fair because she's being paid base. It's almost like you can do, like the station is telling you, you can do any hosting, whatever, but you can't walk over to another station and
of
advise
course.
them. Not even host, but advise them, right?
And tell them how we do it and stuff
Yes,
like that.
correct.
So Owen Tan has come on and said tuition is allowed for teachers up to 6 hours a week. So they do allow it. And David also says, I used to have my own teacher teaching me tuition privately. So I think it's
and
within.
that is conflict of interest. How do you get your
No,
school
but that's okay.
teacher?
I feel it's okay. It's education.
No, but your
It's-
school teacher is paid to teach the class, and she's saying that, okay, I can teach you if you pay me more money. I can teach you more. I think that's a conflict of interest if you're tutoring your own class students.
No, I
but
don't know.
no, I
I know.
think
I don't
maybe-
know if she's tutoring their own class students, but tuition is allowed for
Oh yes,
teachers
yes, that's okay. That's
up
all
to
right.
6 hours a week.
That's
So
okay.
maybe on the weekends or after
No,
school
but
or
the
whatever.
listener said that his teacher
own
taught
teacher
him,
teaching
That,
him.
that one's a bit conflict of interest.
That's like
Ish, I
favoritism,
think.
right?
That's
That's like.
that's unethical.
Is it
Oh,
really?
wow.
I think so. I mean, imagine I'm getting paid to do a job.
Yeah.
And I'm going
Outside
to
of that.
outside of that, and it's my own not patient, my own student. And I say, okay, I can teach you more if you pay me more. But no, that's, I don't know, just a bit weird. It's funny.
It's a
Okay.
big question mark.
Yeah, it's a big question mark. If any teachers are listening or watching us, let us know what you think of teaching your own students private tutoring
Yeah.
outside of the classroom, right? That's what you
Yeah,
meant.
yeah.
Okay. We're going to go for traffic for a last talk set.
Kiss 92 traffic.
Okay, if you're heading towards Queens, towards Lornie on the Queensway underpass, look out for a vehicle that's broken down in the left lane. That could be a bit of trouble there. Lots of heavy traffic all over the place. A couple of obstacles, especially on Turf Club Avenue. Towards the SLE, and flood risk on the PIE towards the airport after the TPE. Avoid lane 1. I reckon quite a few places might have a little bit of water that's gathered. Bukit Timah Road, perhaps. If you have any news for us, you can always WhatsApp us 8855 Okay, it is still Happy at Work Thursday on International Happiness Day.
Oh wow!
Hey,
Adrian
I'm
Choo,
very happy,
she's
see?
happy today. She's got her smiley shirt
Oh,
on.
wow.
It is Yumiko and Angel as well as Adrian Choo, and we're talking about career portfolios.
Yeah, career portfolios and portfolio careers. So what's amazing is that I think it's as we grow older, as we move into a different season in our career, I think we should consider the concept of having a portfolio career. Because it suits you at a different season, or maybe even if you're a Gen Y, but you want to take a career break, and then I'll quit corporate. I'll consider this maybe for the year or two to just experiment to try. But it's something we should all consider.
But I also think like it's a trend now because I think all of us, right, we look at our parents and our grandparents who were very loyal employees and they work at their jobs for like 4 or 5 decades, and you feel like, wow, can I even do that? But when it comes down to our time or maybe our children's time, they're like, no, I want to try something else. I want to do something else. And I feel like if you only do one job for your whole life, that's all you're going to know.
I think back then it was like security over adventure.
Yeah.
You know, now we wanna sort of live a little bit on the edge and also experience more than just be stuck in one place.
But I think for me, the greatest joy for me as an entrepreneur, it's parallel to being a portfolio careerist because you're basically running your own show, your own gig. I think the greatest joy, if you successfully pivot into either entrepreneurship or portfolio careering, is that you become company independent. and therefore you are not at the whim of and fancy
Of anyone else.
Of anyone else, of some stupid boss sitting in some stupid office, may not even be in Singapore, dictating your fate in a company.
And that kind of freedom is priceless, isn't it?
It is. I think there's a price to it. Like you don't get paid as much.
Yeah, but you know what
it
I
is
mean.
priceless. But
It's
it is
priceless in that
yes,
sense,
correct.
yeah.
So I think it's important for us to think about it, consider it, find out more about it. Is it? And it's not suitable for everybody.
Be smart about it.
Be
as
smart
well.
about it, like what Yumiko was saying earlier. There are obstacles to it, and we'll talk a lot more during our Mid-Career Magic workshop on the 19th of April. For our listeners out there, you can tune in. You can go to careeragility.org/kiss92fm to find out more about it.
Right now, it's at 50% off, so you want to jump in on that. Okay, thank you very much, Adrian.
Always a pleasure, and stay dry, everybody.
We'll see you next week. Right now, here's Post Malone and Sway Lee with Sunflower.